My grandpa was a Methodist minister. From a very young age, I was really closely attached to the church and the community of the church. I did the Bible camps, and everything, and I was involved in a vacation Bible school and all that. At about the time of the divorce of my parents, I started to fall away from everything, really, from school, from friends, family, everything. I became really detached, and that's when I started experimenting with drugs and alcohol. I'd say about 12, 13, it was just marijuana and beer and, a little bit of liquor. There was something different about me with it. I wanted to stay till it was all gone. I was already thinking about the next party or the next high or the next drunk. The one thing that gave me real joy was making music. When everybody else was going off to college, and then they would invite whatever group I had at the time to play at their parties because they knew I would have something that was pretty happening. Mixing with people that I never thought I would, and getting the adoration. It felt really good to have people appreciate something that I did finally. Everybody thought I was really cool and, hey, come on, party with us. And the magic in my life was all from, drugs, alcohol, and ego. And I thought I was on top of the world. We had a chance to play some big gigs with some pretty big name bands. I took it to the next level with the drugs, and pretty soon it became cocaine and heroin. It was impossible to meet my responsibilities and hold up my end of the bargain with other guys that I was playing with, and eventually, I had to leave the band. I would meet other people that needed heroin, and I knew the guy to get it from. So I would be the middle guy and get the drugs for them and just get enough for myself to get high for that day. I would appear to have it together, and then the people that were real close to me were the ones who would suffer the most because they could see what was really happening. It hurt my family terribly. You can really just completely unplug yourself from any emotion, guilt, shame, fear, regret, remorse. Those things, when you're constantly medicating yourself, it becomes easier to just completely divorce those feelings. I was unemployed at that time. I had just let everything go. I had come into enough money to sit and just pull the blinds and just be drunk and be high all day. And I did that for several months and remained in a perpetual state of drunkenness or being high. I started to see people that I loved die. And I got the divorce papers in the mail. It's like I had to lose everything to realize realize that it was time to stop. I went through the yellow pages and I called the administration at Hazelden, and this very nice woman did the math with me and came back with 5 figures, and I was like, okay, thank you very much, and no thanks. But she said, hey, there's this place in St. Paul called Christ Recovery Center, and there's a guy named Randy Young down there, and I think you should give him a call. And at that point, I'm thinking, Christ Recovery Center, I wasn't really ready at that point to mix the spiritual and the recovery. But something was driving me to seek it out. I met with Randy, and Randy looked me in the eye, and he held up a big book, and he held up the Bible. And he said, this is what you're going to get here. Are you ready to do anything? And I said, yeah, I'm ready to do whatever it takes. Coming from a really religious family, in between that ages of like 12 and up till this point, really, I've said, I respect you for being Christian. I respect it. It's a good thing. I'm not having any of it, And I would only pray when times were horrible and please get me out of this one type of thing, But in Alcoholics Anonymous, they say we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand God. That I was ready for. I was like, all right, as I understand God, I can do that. And that's what I did to the best of my ability. It felt like I hit a turning point when it was like, either I'm going to do this or I'm not. Why should I be here if I'm not even going to do this thing? I got on my knees and I said, God, help me, Just help me. Show me what you want me to do, because I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to get out of this, but here I am. Being around some of the volunteers around here who've been in this program for 30, 40 plus years, who are only here on a voluntary basis to see the miracle happen to guys like me, and they're only here to see that miracle happen. I think that's where I was convinced that I would look into the old man's eyes and see that all he was getting from being here is to see the miracle happen in me. And that sort of convinced me. True recovery can't happen without a firm belief in God. I guess I had a humbling experience in this program that made me understand that I am a child of God. And that's like the glue that's made it work. It feels good to have my family back. It feels good to have my self-respect. I want to say back, but I don't really recall having it like this before. Every day now is a new beginning. It's a gift. It's no longer a burden to have to wake up and face a new day. It's an opportunity to serve the Lord and to do the right thing. I've been presented with opportunities to use my talents to serve the Lord. It's been instrumental in my recovery. The music is, to me, the ultimate form of worship. I don't need the praise. The praise now goes through me and to the Lord. It doesn't stop here. You know, like it used to stop right here. Thanks for the praise. But now I'm like, thank you, and pass it on. I'm really grateful that I don't have to be a prisoner of myself anymore. What I do need is I need to have communion with the Lord every day. I just really want to sincerely thank the people at the Union Gospel Mission and all the volunteers and all the donors who made this possible for me to come here and receive the care that I have. For 25 years before coming here to the Union Gospel Mission, my longest period of sobriety was 69 days in 25 years. So approaching a year now, you know, that's pretty incredible.